All the photographs now come after.
About 6 years ago, I beseeched our World Talent Federation headquarters in the US to donate 29 human anthropo-biometric kits. Anthropo-biometric kit or machine is a machine that helps us in predicting careers. Today in the world, that machine can help us know the career of a 4, 5, 6-year-old child 20, 30 years in advance. That means you as a parent, you as a teacher, you as a government, you know where to put money, time, and effort in advance without any usual waste that we make in our education systems. As you know today, many parents, they sell their land, cattle, all savings they have in the hope that when they take their children to school, into universities, those children will come back and buy for them more cows, buy for them more land, put more money in their investments. Those parents are disillusioned because you know, as I do, that they are told by no other than government that there are no jobs. It is for this reason that I decided as an African, as a Kenyan, to come and do something a little bit different on this continent and in this country. Now, this machine is a 3D optical sensing equipment. It is a camera, just like these other cameras. In less than a minute, if it takes you a photo, it produces you with the signal paths between your body and the frontier of your brain. The frontier of the brain is divided left and right with a thin membrane upper and lower. Left upper side of the brain represents science. Right upper side of the brain we call the human volcanic brain. The brain of the non-conform, like the musician, the artist. People don't follow rules. And then the lower right side is called the human manual dexterity brain. The brain of the physical strength. For the sportsmen, the acrobats, I name them. And the lower left is for the decision makers, the accountants, the planners, and that kind of people. If you know, like I do, all careers are about those 4 areas. The rest are specialisms. So all I need to know, where do signals go quickest in your body? If I see from that image, from that picture, that the green light goes to the left upper side of the brain, then I know you're a scientist. If the green lines go quickly to the right upper side, then I know you're volcanic, you are non-conform, you are most likely to be a musician, an artist, and the rest. I only need to do talent validation later to confirm which exact specialism you are. Then now you can see how easy it is for me to predict the career of a 4, 5, 6-year-old child, because I have a background and I have an image to do with me. You no longer need to take your child to school the way we used to do, that you just take them like a pack of potatoes and you hope all of them will produce chips. That is nonsense in the world of today. You will not take your children to wade through guesswork up to university level only for you to discover it was the wrong course. It is very bad, even for adults today, that got themselves shipped out of the learning system or were shipped out and wasting away in Changadens. And you hear their intelligence only when they shout along the roads. Today, even adults, we reassess and we reclaim them and put them in good pursuits. We can still evaluate through using that machine to find your life achievement credits and your work experience credits. So much it is that now many politicians, through institutions that we work with, and you must know half the parliament has benefit out of this. We are here in Starehe today to talk and have the possibility of donating one such machine worth about $250,000 to be established within Starehe Boys Centre. And there's a lot that has motivated us to do that. I can confirm that that donation is already done. We are here to bring the message that we're ready to come and set up within Starehe Boys Centre, noting the rich history, the success, the excellence, and we want to give pathways to these young people. First, number one, to get access to Ivy League universities that can be able to support those. But even beyond that, for those who are having unique abilities which are non-academic, to get funding for the same.
The world in the chaos that it is, Africa is really the last hope. It's a young continent, you know, in this modern age of technology. And it is offering so much for the environment, so much for community, so much for creativity, and so much culture that we are only now beginning to find out the richness of. So these young boys are going to raise a few more flags, I think, in future years. We've just lowered 2 here, but they're going to raise a hell of a lot more in future years.
The civilized world know about it. That's why they're giving a donation. That's why in Europe alone, and I can also speak as an ex-personal assistant to Dr. Griffin, when a player in the Super League or in the Premier League gets hurt or a broken leg, they will tell you that Rooney will be out of the game for 4 weeks. And indeed 4 weeks. How do they know it? Or 2 days? Or 4 days? How do they know? That's part of that machine we're talking about here. That can predict the pathways, the time, and even tell who is going to be the leader, who is going to be the cleaner, who is going to be this. So it is real. They know it out there. But now, thank God, with my brother here and his colleague, the same opportunity being given to us in Africa. And I've given you an example. 30, 40 years ago, Griffin already predicted, and I had that desire, that I would get to where I am now. I'm one of those people that's celebrating that I'm glad I took the right path. So yes, it's real. Had the national government, and I'm also now speaking as a government officer, even though from county government of Kisumu, had the national government sought the help of Professor Oborah as they started, without distorting the idea, I can tell you CBC would have been a great success. They need to sort him again, and we'll get it right. I am appealing to our government to consider that.
We are having a conversation with the African Federation of the Gifted and Talented because the initial engagement that we had seems to suggest that they are aligned to our own mission. Here in Starehe is a well-known name. And in Starehe, we take children from mainly poor backgrounds from every corner of this country. We nurture them, take care of them, provide them education, inspire them, and so that they can achieve their highest aspirations, whatever they may be. Not just education, in sports, in music, in athletics, you have seen that. So when this proposition was brought to us, we thought it is ideal. We think that we can explore it. We are still to conclude the discussions because as Starehe, we have our own processes, due diligence to ensure that eventually when we agree, the kind of questions that we are asking, we have answered all those questions. But at the end of the day, what we are really looking at is our center here is focused on the child and assisting that child to become the best of whatever he's endowed with. And we have a very basic principle we call the coffee cup principle. Whatever you're given to do it better than it has ever been done in the world. And so even in this instance, if we identify that perhaps your talent is in gymnastics, is in athletics, is in engineering, in medicine, that will help us to guide the child appropriately.